I don't like these headphones.
Of course, I told you now. So, what are you going to use? You won't listen. You won't be able to hear properly.
Yeah, I'll hear properly with the headphones.
Every breakaway.
Valentine, really?
It's one ear that goes
It's fine.
Where's your head? Yeah, discriminating
I
against
don't have my
my
fan.
Oh, okay, I am.
I'm actually literally sweating.
I don't know. Oh, sorry. It's fine.
I want to
Alright,
move my
studio
video.
is live. Mics are remove it. Studio. Silence, please. Good morning and thank you for joining us. This is Smooth 98.1, Smooth Breakfast with Valentine Ohu.
And Ayo Mairo Ese, good morning.
Welcome and let's welcome the one and only, the one that makes me so proud, Tega Supreme, Tega Onojaife. How are you, Tega?
I don't like this pressure. Good morning, Lagos. I don't like this pressure that you are making you proud.
We love the fact that you're
You make
making
me
us
proud.
proud.
I don't-
Honestly,
Yeah,
such
you
an
do.
I don't like
Amazon,
this
and yet
pressure.
just does this so
No,
effortlessly.
Tega, you make me proud. Trust me. You're one friend I have
This
that
is
I
all
will
the-
continue to give encomiums to. I'll continue to praise behind your back, in front of you, wherever you go.
Hmm.
So
This is
you
what they
never-
did to Salah. Now that Liverpool has crashed.
You need the pressure. You need it.
He's now the one that is under pressure.
But welcome though. Send us messages to be part of the show. You can message WhatsApp on 0809 444 0981. Not the company Facebook. I mean Smooth FM. Use that WhatsApp number 0809 444 0981. And on Twitter.
It's at Smooth981 FM, the company, and use the hashtag LockerRoom981. On YouTube, we're streaming live. I just did a wave right there, so please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Smooth981 FM Lagos. There you get to be notified once a new video goes up or we go on live.
That's right. Our first story talks about the International Women's Day 2020 event. As a reminder for you to know that on Sunday, yes?
Yes, this Sunday.
Something
Mhm.
big,
Mhm.
The
something
ladies
amazing.
in sports conference, the event will be held grand. Just give us the details, Tega. The venue,
Okay,
the time,
so,
the dates people are expecting.
Yes, on Sunday afternoon, after your service, children of God, just come straight to the Oriental Hotel in your t-shirt and jeans, or like Ayo, t-shirt and bomb shorts. Straight to the Oriental Hotel on the 8th of March, which is the International Women's Day, and come and celebrate with us as we celebrate athletes that have excelled in their sport and those that have qualified for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. So if you say you didn't know them, come and see them that day. They'll be introduced to you properly, and so you can meet them, have your meet and greet, have your photos taken. Just generally come and enjoy and celebrate with women in sports. So Sunday from 1 p.m. at the Oriental Hotel.
I look
Lagos.
forward to it. I'm actually really looking forward to it. I have my shirt ready and my bomb shorts.
Tega, what should I wear?
You come with full cloth.
No, let's wear a Scottish kilt. Wear a kilt,
Yeah, well, kit and your
your
yeah.
t-shirt.
your
Wow,
t-shirt and
Scottish kilt.
a
You're
kilt.
fine now.
I look for an Arabian kilt. Now, the management committee of the Nigerian Women Football League, headed by Aisha Falade, Falode rather, on Thursday in Lagos, announced the rebranding of the Women's League by unveiling a new logo and renaming the 3 tiers of the league under the tutelage of the NWFL. Falode explained, and I quote, with our rebranding, the Nigerian Women Premier League will now be known as the NWFL Premiership, while the NWFL Pro League now becomes the NWFL Championship, and the NWFL Amateur League is now NWFL Nationwide. Today, our drive and entrepreneurial spirit have led us to reimagine how we want to tell our story. Now, we're taking the opportunity to evolve our brands as we move up into an exciting future and to tell the world we are purposeful, passion-driven, stable, progressive, and to say we are united than ever.
Yes. So the Nigerian Women's Football League. First of all, there was that confusion. Is it Nigerian Women's Premier League, Nigerian Women's Football League? What is the difference? They've done the final branding. So you know how it is when you want to sell something. I often say this: have an identity. Let people know what they are buying. Who are you? What do you look like? What are your characteristics? And that's what the Women's League is trying to do now. So first thing first was to change the logo. So they did that, and then the structure of what they're going to do over the next few years, the agenda, they have that, and with the characteristics and the identity now confirmed, they can start looking for sponsors. You can't say, if you are trying to tell me something and I can't identify with it, then there's no way I'm putting my money. So congratulations to the Nigerian Women's Football League. It may have taken a while, but they are here now. Today you can start counting afresh for them. Don't count the past 30 years and say, oh, because in the past 30 years they didn't do well, so they're still not going to do well. That's not right. They've decided to rebrand. They've decided to take a stand. This is what we're going to look like. This is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to achieve it. Let's start counting down from today where the rebrand is. So congratulations to them. The guy that did the logo, it was open to public actually. Yeah, it was open to public. They said everybody, Nigerian Women's Football League wants to rebrand. Here's the opportunity to make a logo. They had a logo competition.
So it was a bid.
Yes, so somebody just did the logo and then he won. They had 100,000 naira prize money for whoever logo is chosen. And the guy,
and then of course the pride that wherever they use that logo, you know that you're
yeah, like that's my logo. I did that. So it was open to public. So they're trying to bring everybody in to women's sports, trying to get it to evolve. And I like the way the steps they're taking. I heard some people saying, why would you brand a league when it doesn't have sponsors? You first create an identity before you get sponsors. That's how things are done. You don't come and say, give me your money. You say, first of all, my name is Tega Onojaife. I'm the founder of Ladies in Sports International, and we try to improve the quality of life of women in sports, and we also try to inspire young girls, to do better through sports.
Yes.
We would like to have some of your money.
You've already told us about your company or the organization. You've told us your
You've seen me. Yeah, so can I have some of your money, please? And then the sponsors come in. You don't just go and collect money first and then.
I have a feeling you have a hand in this.
I'm not around. I don't have a hand in this. I'm just reading the news. I don't have a hand in this at all.
It's a long time coming, and I honestly look forward to the time when the Nigerian now called the Nigerian
Women's Football League
would take its rightful place and be given the respect that it deserves.
Yeah.
All right, 7 teams write to FIA over Ferrari engine controversy. 7 teams have written a letter to governing body, the FIA, demanding answers to a series of questions on the Ferrari engine controversy. The letter is confidential, but it contains an extensive list of queries about a confidential settlement the FIA has reached with Ferrari. The body admitted on Thursday it had suspicions Ferrari's engine was not always legal in 2019, but could not prove it. The letter includes a deadline by which the teams have demanded they get an answer.
Yes, so remember last season when we were talking about it, that this Ferrari space, where are they getting it from?
Yeah.
Where are they getting the extra boost? It appears, or it turns out, that the FIA, like me, was suspicious and decided to carry out some set of investigations and realized that Ferrari pushed the limits on sometimes on their engines, but they don't have proof. There's no body. They know that somebody has died, but they cannot find the body. So there's no evidence. And so even with the FIA and with some summations and submitting reports here and there, they're suspicious that, look, that these numbers are not adding up. But they don't know how to say where the corners were caught or where Ferrari took advantage of the engine rules. So they know something is wrong, they just don't know what. And because of that, they had the private meeting with Ferrari, and apparently there's a settlement that was made, or we're hearing that there was a settlement that was made. But the other teams are saying, look, we were the ones in competition with Ferrari, and if they had breached some rules, we demand to know what they did and what their fines are, because you can't be letting them get away with this.
Yeah.
And so I think the constructors are Mercedes, Red Bull, all the big boys, forcing there, apart from the 2 other customers that Ferrari provides engines for, like us. But everybody else has demanded that, look, you must tell us what Ferrari did, how they breached it, and what the consequence of their action is, because it's unfair. they clearly they didn't win the championship, not the constructors championship. Neither did they win the drivers championship. But there was unfair advantage gained by cutting corners. So if we are all going to be competing in the same world championship, then we should know what the consequences are. And I totally agree. But because from last season, even just sitting here and watching them, I was suspecting, like, where are they getting this extra pace from? What is happening? I went to school, I studied physics now. It did not come from air. So obviously there was something, but we're waiting to find out what it is.
Right. And
Okay.
so just in terms of precedents, do you know the kind of punishment they would get if it
No.
comes to it? So
No.
they don't- maybe they'll ban them like Barcelona. No, Barcelona. So Man
Well,
City.
you see, because the FIA is trying to trying to expand the motorsport and all,
Yeah.
it may be heavy fines, it may be something,
Yeah.
but I'm not categorically sure that they'll just cut them out of. I can't say that they will do that, considering the fact that Ferrari is one of the major constructors in F1. I'm not sure that they'll ban them like Man City, because unlike UEFA, they don't have that many clubs, you know. But if it could get to that, then maybe the FIA would have done something severe.
Yeah.
The fact that they're having a private settlement that they're not really revealing information about means that they don't want to go that mile. Yeah.
All right, so let's move on from that. Talk about the She Believes Cup. The England's She Believes Cup defense got off to the worst possible start as two quick-fire goals saw them beaten 2-0 by United States of America women in Orlando. The Lionesses had chances in Florida, but were largely outclassed by their World Cup winning hosts, who missed a number of openings in either half, but finally found a breakthrough 8 minutes into the second period. Defeat means that Phil Neville's side, looking to keep the trophy they won 12 months ago, may now have to beat Japan on Sunday evening to hold any hope of retaining their crown.
It's not coming home again. but I mean, so this is pretty interesting. So I remember when the Lionesses won the She Believes Cup. Oh my goodness, you thought they had won the World Cup. Come on, Phil Neville was, I believe in these girls. These are my best girls. This is the best team in the world, and we're trying to show. I said, God, please, let's hear what they did. Documentary showed the girls. Lucy Bronze became a studded star all of a sudden. Lucy Bronze, I've watched several times. I'm not seeing anything special, but hey, suddenly she became a studded star again. And then they went to the World Cup, and they didn't have a bad World Cup. It's just that USA were outstanding. So when the She Believes Cup was about to start, there was all that again. There was all, you know how the British like to sell themselves. I don't get me wrong. I don't. It can be irritating sometimes, but I applaud it, because you should sell yourself like that.
Of course,
everybody. So they like to push, and there was so much noise. We're going defending champions this, defending champions that, defending champions, defending champions. They arrive at USA, and USA just ended the discussion. And let me tell you, this US team did not play their best football. They had chances. They were not as clinical as they would normally be.
Yes.
But they still managed to score 2 goals. Again, one of the key players, Alex Morgan is out of the team because she's having a baby. So there's still some, and they brought in some new girls. So there's still some tweaks, and they're trying to fit in new girls into the team. And they were able to take out England clinically. Didn't you notice that it was very quiet? I mean, even during the sports news on TV, there was not so much noise. If they had defeated USA, defending champions of She Cup, defeated world champions, you will not hear word. But I'm glad for peace and calm, as the US team has done us proud. Thank you. Kachifo.
That's to say we're going on a break. We'll be back. Let that sink in. Stay with us.
Why? Why do you want to see my face? Don't you know what I look like? Search me on Google.
Okay.
Lies in the hands of a few.
Just a
That's a
little to the
quality
right.
data experience. It's a
Sorry.
privilege for some. Well,
the tiger,
that
Tega the
has
fighter,
changed
Tega
now.
the-
Quality data just got more affordable with
Anything
9
to heal
Mobile.
up.
Get 7 gigabytes plus
You-
free
you know,
access
I
to
don't
social
particularly
media
like
for
Tega the Fighter.
1,500 naira. 15 gigabytes plus
Tega the
free
Frame.
night videos
You know I don't like
streaming
Tega
for
the Tiger
5,000
either.
naira and much more across all of different plans.
Who even gave me this
Dial
Tega
star
Supreme?
200 star 3 star
You know your
1 hash.
Twitter handle.
Mobile.
But if somebody that did it like
Here
that.
for
Oh.
Naija.
we met it. Me, I met it.
No, that's you see how you met it, eh? That's how I met it.
But you adopted
Special
it
mix of
now.
vitamins and
I just
iron
left it
in
because-
Golden
Supreme.
Because I had no choice.
Golden Morn was made from maize and soya.
Yes, Niger maize and soya protein fortified with Grain Smart, which means the right energy to think and do great things.
I'm not touching you.
Don't touch the chair.
I'm not touching.
Your family
Don't touch
to
the
the
chair.
protein
Go away from here.
of Golden Morn.
Like the-
Eat up and carry go. Because nothing do you. Golden Morn. Make every day amazing.
So, hey, I can't say something
When
from this
you
air.
need urgent
Oh,
medical
I don't
attention,
like this
the
thing that you
last thing
can't
need
gossip.
is to have to
Gossip, say it to do sign language.
and wait.
Nowadays, I never work for United Nations. If I can do sign language, I'll be.
Switch to Axon
I'm the United Nations Secretary General.
Service that offers you pre-booking service, a 24/7 call center, and access to hospitals nationwide. Call us today at 0700 Axon Mensa.
What it is that we've baptized Civic Center.
Airlines.
So now everybody's in
Easter
it.
offers are now here. Travel as if you were in a comfort zone with KLM.
Soon everybody will now come there.
Where she going? Let's see where she's going next.
Favorite cities.
Remember that time I told you now?
Destinations in London, New York, Los Angeles, Toronto, Mumbai, and much more. Tickets are selling.
I'm glad I'm an
until
inspiration. If only they knew the
2020,
truth. That sometimes I don't sleep well at night.
Go and buy now.
I don't sleep well at night.
www.klm.com.ng.
Lord help your
Any
Tega.
KLM ticket office, your travel agent, or just call 01277 Terms and conditions apply. KLM Royal Dutch
He only
Airlines.
wants sugar from the cupboard, so let him take the sugar and then put it in the cupboard.
Was there sugar? I don't know. Huh?
You have come to produce your show on my show. We are not interested.
We'll just
Be
have
on my
to
show. He's not
back
saying
up
breakfast.
on my
No. This is
Lights
locker
out.
room.
Studio is live. Black, please. And we are back. This is the Locker Room 981. Is brought to you by Smooth 98.1 FM Lagos. Send your messages through WhatsApp 0809 444 0981.
All right, you can also send to Twitter at Smooth981FM. Use the hashtag LockerRoom981. We have some comments on YouTube. YouTube is Smooth981FM Lagos. Subscribe to our channel. Sammy OTB, we see you. Kosi Coles, thank you very much. He says my analysis is now more detailed. Thank you.
Yours. Nice.
Yes. No, my enthusiasm, or no, I don't analyze, but my involvement. Yes, that's right. Adeyemi Adeleke says, Tega the Supreme adopted name is great. So you like, oh, wow, okay. Those are behind the scenes gist, guys. Move on to our story. Team Sherwood shocked by mild-mannered Tottenham midfielder storm into crowd. Sherwood says he's surprised that mild-mannered Eridea stormed into the Tottenham stands to confront a supporter, but refused to criticize him and instead called for a limit on fan criticism. Here's what Sherwood had to say. It surprised me because he's a mild-mannered guy, Eric. But something serious has gone on there. Something has triggered it. Push the button. We've all got that button. Some are hotter than others.
Okay, so I would say this for Eric, and this is not the first time. Having watched him over time, you can tell he's not really the guy that likes to look for trouble, or try to confront people. So when I've heard several people say that, yeah, he is mild-mannered, he's not your regular hothead. I know that, but the situation on Wednesday night wasn't palatable at all. Tottenham playing at home, hosting Norwich City at home in the FA Cup, and getting knocked out by Norwich City after a penalty shootout. Then hearing a fan in the crowd insulting his brother. It is one moment leading into another, and I'm sure that moment where the guy was insulting him, his family members, was what was the last straw on the camel's back. And so he because you can see him, he's with the rest of the team on the pitch, and then he hears something and he turns and he's looking at the person, and I think the person just kept talking. Then 6'5" Eric Dyer climbs over the advert board. First of all, I thought maybe he saw a child in the crowd that was sweet and he wanted to give his t-shirt. So I'm sure that's what everybody thought, because nobody was trying to stop him when he was stomping into the crowd and climbing over the chairs, because they probably thought he was going to do something nice. Then he reaches, he nearly gets to the top. He was like, you, everybody started to hold him. And I think, look, like Jose Mourinho said, it is unprofessional behavior, because at the end of the day, there is a way that as a footballer, as a professional, you have to handle yourself, even in the face of certain bad behavior. But I'm also going to say it here now. People need to stop expecting better behavior from other people and start behaving better themselves.
Yes,
Don't push people to the limit. Don't stop that. I get it sometimes when people come on my stand and say, but you are an OAP, you should not talk back to me. And then you're insulting me. You don't do that. Behave well first, and then you can educate me later on good behavior. So I'm not saying what he did is right. The FA is looking into it and he will get a fine, and rightly so. I'm just saying fans need to learn how to also understand that these are human beings.
Yes.
Don't touch people's families. Don't do that. You can say, oh, his football wasn't good, but don't start touching people's families. Don't start insulting people's children. So yeah.
Do we know what the fans said?
We don't till now. We can't say. And then the guy sees Eric Dyer coming towards him and he takes off. Which is what I say. You people can sit down behind your keyboard and tweet anything. You cannot say it to the person's face. Then why are you doing this? So I think he'll get fined, and he should be fined.
Yes.
Because that's not good behavior. In fact, I think he should be suspended.
Oh, team.
Eric Dyer.
Eric Dyer.
Yeah, I think he should be suspended because that's not professional behavior.
Do you know what he was said?
Look, what I'm saying is, regardless of what it is, I'm saying that he will still get. Those are things that will come because of who he is. At the end of the day, Materazzi said something nasty to Zinedine Zidane, but Zinedine Zidane headbutted Materazzi in front of the whole world, and he got. I mean, I suspected as well. Let's say I suspected. I was behind Zinedine Zidane. When he did that. I was with him all the way. That look, they shouldn't be saying that kind of thing about your sister. But I also was behind FIFA when they gave him the fine and the community service because he retired. Yeah, because I mean that's just not acceptable
So what you're
behavior.
saying that before you even launch it, before they would have launched it, they probably have thought of the consequence. Okay, do I have enough money to pay the fine? All right, and then I have.
Sometimes they don't even think, they're just going. In that moment, he was not thinking about the consequences of the fine. He was just going with the flow. Like, this guy insulted my family, I'm going to deal with it. It's now that he'll probably say, maybe I should have walked away, or maybe, but it's not acceptable behavior from him. And it's definitely not acceptable behavior from the fans.
Thank you.
They need to stop that. I hope if I were in the Tottenham team, he's not getting any tickets anytime soon.
Exactly. Thank you. Readman says, so Dyer decided to become Jackie Chan and Jet Li combined together and jump into the stands to beat up a fan. Fan criticism nowadays is getting too much and has to be reduced. Odion, Jude, Igalo for president.
All right. That's true. Because Ugo supports it, so the Igodalo's part. He said from VI, he said, can Igalo keep scoring and Manchester United keep losing? I hate United. Wow, hate is a strong word. But I love Igalo. Thank you very much, Odio Igalo. Let's move on to talk about the reactions on the disease coronavirus around the world, especially in the sporting scene. The postponed Serie A fixture between Juventus and Inter Milan will be played on Sunday behind closed doors. The league have confirmed 5 Serie A matches which were postponed between February 29th and March 2nd because of the coronavirus outbreak, including the top of the table clash between Juventus and Inter, have been rescheduled for this week. Now, the matches will all be played without spectators following an Italian government decree on Wednesday. The government has banned public from all sporting events until the 3rd of April in a bid to curb Europe's worst coronavirus outbreak. The other matches are Parma versus Spal, AC Milan versus Genoa, Sampdoria versus Venora, and Udinese versus Fiorentina, while the 6th game between Sassuolo and Brescia will be played on Monday.
Okay, so bottom line, Italian Serie A, they had that meeting where they had to decide can we continue with the league, seeing as it is, considering that revenue would be affected and all. I guess they just have to finish the league, which is why they're going to have to play all this backlog of matches. But they understand that the coronavirus, especially in Italy, has gone way out of hand, and so they are going to have to play their games now, unfortunately, in empty stadia, and at the end of the day, it will come down to TV rights, people watching it on TV. So maybe there'll be negotiations to start showing the matches live in Italy, so that because normally people will come to the stadium to see those matches, but now they may have to. They will have to because of government rules.
It's going to affect a lot of things. Sales, merchandising.
It's going to affect everything. So they are definitely losing revenue, but they have to complete the league. They've gone too far. Yeah.
All right. Now I'm so happy that I'm the one that gets to take on this story with Tega, or read it out to you guys. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hails Odion Ighalo's Manchester United impact. I say that again. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hails Odion Ighalo's Manchester United impact. Our guy is doing well. Now, Solskjaer sang Ighalo's praises after the Manchester United striker scored twice in the 3-0 FA Cup 5th round victory over Derby County. According to Solskjaer, he's doing what it says on the tin and what we asked for when we signed him. Nigeria does not carry last.
I like the way he's proud of him.
Yeah.
2 starts, 3 goals. That's good returns for Odion Ighalo. And yeah, I like a lot of people. I'm really not concerned about Manchester United, but I'm very passionate about Odion Ighalo scoring goals. So when he scores, I'm like, yeah, baby. So win or lose, as long as he's scoring, I'm celebrating. Yeah. But what it is that he'd come into the team, and some people were questioning why they would bring an older striker who's retired from his national team, who went to China to play in the last minute. And some people said, oh, it's because of his affordability or his availability, is this. They were all that kind of analysis. At the end of the day, Manchester United wanted goals. He's scoring the goals. End of discussion. Every other thing is extra, and so they'll be looking to him again to continue like this, because of the Marcus Rashford injury. They're still a man short at the end of the day up front. Lingard is not counted as just runs around the pitch to have fun. So Odion Ighalo is going to need to do that. Now this weekend is a Manchester derby. They need goals. Odion Ighalo is a big man that's so far shown that he can show up in games. They'd be needing him in this game for 2 reasons. They need the 3 points and the bragging rights. Bragging rights sometimes is more important than the 3 points. So he needs to. This is a big game, and this is the game that if he does feature in this game and scores, that's it. So there's no way that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will not start pushing for that permanent deal, even if he's as a squad player. Maybe not the starting lineup. Yeah.
We're really so happy that because there are a number of speculations when he was signing.
Yeah, how many? Some people said 10 goals would be a success. He's on 3. We're waiting for 7.
Exactly. Morgan says there's something about that name Eric in the English game. If you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen. Fans should learn to be responsible. And then Emeka from
Eric Cantona
says, just realized Arsenal will play Watford on the 17th of May at the Emirates. I don't care if our top 4 is on the line. No. Give them a guard of honor plus 3 points. Our only bragging right can't be taken away from us like that. Secondly, is there any week we don't talk about controversial VAR decisions in the Premier League? Other countries have VAR, but we don't hear of this kind of issues in the league.
All right, let's go to the next story. Real Madrid's victory in the Clásico gave them a 1-point lead that might mean little in La Liga's Euro-stream title race, but whether it causes a decisive shift in momentum will be easier to read after this weekend. Barcelona will host Real Sociedad on Saturday, an awkward fixture against the team that have won their last 6 consecutive matches and will still be flying high on the back of beating Mirandes on Wednesday to reach the first Copa del Rey final in 32 years.
Yeah, so Real Sociedad is on the high, and they face a Barcelona side that has many issues. So if in case you missed it, during the El Clasico, the Barcelona assistant coach was seen to be abusing some players that were not playing very well as the match was happening, and it was caught on camera. So those players have come So you can imagine how awkward training will be when the assistant coach walks in and the players that they're abusing are just there. So there's that, and there's also Busquets coming out to say that the club did not, insinuating that the club management did not buy well, and that's why they're in the situation that they're in. With all the drama that is happening, and then the loss to El Clasico, Barcelona is not in a good place right now. So if Real Sociedad had any belief, it is this weekend that they can pick up some good points. However, because of the form of Real Madrid, good today, excellent today, poor tomorrow, this tide may still swing. So Real Madrid may have beaten Barcelona last weekend, and this weekend they'll drop points, and once again the title race is up in the air. So nothing is cast in stone because of the El Clasico loss. However, Barcelona are not in a good place at all, whether on or off the pitch, and so it makes it hard to see how they'll come back. But they've redeemed themselves once before. They can try it again.
Someone else they can try maybe this time around 3 is what my friend here, Shogun, was suggesting on WhatsApp. He says Galo starts his first match, he scores a goal. Second match, he scores 2. Tega, are you thinking what I'm thinking against City?
Yes, if he starts against City, score 3, Abby, we are here.
Zizi Classic said, this one that Ayo is so excited to take on Manchester United story. So, hope you've not decamped to Manchester United.
I was in Manchester United, Zizi, and I'm
Speaking
still a
of
bit
which,
of them. I'm still a part of them. A pit party, small part.
She's a Man's now fan.
Speaking of which, there's a message in here on YouTube from IK. IK says, a girl asked me if Arsenal is a series. I asked her why, and she replied, because the fans are always waiting for another season.
Love it. What an epic way to wrap up the conversation and wrap up comments. Thank you guys so much.
Yep,
for
thank
being
you.
So fantastic.
And thank you, Tega.
You're welcome.
Continue the conversation on social media, on Twitter, precisely at Tega Supreme. Tweet at her at LIS International. Get to be part of the event on Sunday at Oriental Hotel. It's from 1 p.m. Right after church. All right, so you know what's coming. I'll come with my Spanish tutu or Spanish what's it called again?
What? No.
The outfit you recommended for me, Tega.
I said your Scottish guilt.
Okay, stay with us. Next, we have a fun Friday conversation for a Feel Good Friday at 9 o'clock for Lagos Talks 981. Stay with us. Yeah.